Hello and welcome to another episode of Story Roulette, the game where I tell random stories from random words and then hope for the best. That said, let's get going. Alright, here comes the hat of stories. Shake it up, as always. Here we go. Alright, let's see what we got. Mome raths. Wait, can you see? Yes. Mome raths. Handwriting is much better this time. Thank you. Okay, Mome Rath's Alice in Wonderland. Interesting. First time that we have something from an existing story. Alright. So, how about a little history of the Mome Raths? You see, the Mome Raths, momey as they are, has a rather interesting history. Otherwise, I wouldn't be telling it. Because frankly, what would be the point of telling an uninteresting story? Well, I guess the point of that would be to just fill the time, I suppose. That could be one purpose. But the other purpose of telling an uninteresting story doesn't have one. Yes, so, the history of the Mome Raths. We have a ball. You see, in the beginning of the Alice in Wonderland world, there was a ball. It was not exactly a spherical ball. It was sort of oblong, with little spikes coming off it, but only 3 or 4. And on these spikes, little dust particles began to settle, like just, falling from the nothingness that was nothing. Just sort of dust particles that materialized and then falling on these spikes, on this oblong ball. I was just sort of drifting through the nothingness of Wonderland. Now, of course, as time went by, more and more dust collected, and eventually they became quite dense, because the dust was, first it was dust, so it was obviously very light and fluffy and proofy, but the motion of this oblong ball, combined with its gravity, compressed the dust more denser and denser until eventually it formed stones. And these stones then, again, were crushed and crushed and crushed till they sort of became mush. And the mush then came into contact with a star. Not an astronomical star, like a star shape. Yes. And that formed the Mome Rat, the first Mome Rat. Now, of course, it was lifeless. There was really nothing really special about it. And in came the Queen, because she was already formed, the Queen of Cards. Now, she came across these rocks combined with stars. Now, they only roughly began to resemble a Mome Rat. They haven't quite been completed yet. They were still very much, what's the word? Very raw. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. So, you have the Queen finding these raw sort of star mushy kind of things sort of lying there, which sort of roughly represented the Mome Rat, if you remember what a Mome Rat looked like in Alice in Wonderland. And she demanded that they be given life, which was kind of weird because there was nothing else there. She was the only thing there at the time. But she demanded they be given life, which obviously didn't work. So she became increasingly frustrated, upon which she then kicked this ball, this oblong ball, with the spikes and the compressed dust and stars on them, and that flew into a lightning bolt, which then, of course, as we all know, lightning bolts generate life, as we all know. And, boom, Mome Rats. Hello and welcome to Story Roulette, Episode 2. The game where I fumble and stumble and grumble and blow your house down.